Hi there, James Oldenburg here again. Yeah, I haven't done anything in a while for some ideas on guitar, so I thought I'd talk about triads today. So triads are, the simplest form of a chord. So when you have a C chord, it's comprised of every other note in that scale. So C, no D, but an E, no F, but a G. So a simple triad on the top three strings would be C, E, and G. So if I take those triads and move them up the neck, I get C major on the first degree of the scale. The second degree would be D, so I get a D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor I could play here past fret 12, so I could take that down to the nut position. It would look like that, which looks like exactly the same except the open string. Then the last chord is a B diminished chord, which is going to be a shape like this, and then it's going to end up back home on C. So that's all the chords that are in C. Now, quite often people play them as full chords, which are fine. But if you're, a beginner maybe, and you're not quite used to playing chords, especially bar chords, and bar chords are highly overrated. They have a lot of notes in them. So if you think about it, like we're playing all strings. So, does a piano player ever play all 10 fingers on a chord? Yeah, not very often. Maybe in an arpeggio or something, but it's just too dense. There's no room for anything else. So if I take that C triad, what I really want to talk about is spread triads. So triads, I think most of you probably know, they're a very useful thing on the guitar. And if you think about, the guitar is a harmonic instrument, so we should be spending a lot of time on chords, but people are so concerned about playing lead guitar melodies, or maybe even just reading set arrangements where you're not really thinking about the chords, you're just doing what somebody told you to do in an arrangement. Well, you can get these things called spread voicings that are basically just not on adjacent strings. So if I take this C, E, and G, and I finger it with a power chord on the bottom, actually, so a root on the C, a 5 on the G, and then I put the third on top. So on the top string, so you notice I missed the third string there, so it's string 5, string 4, and then a skip to string 2. So you're going to have to do that with finger picking, or like I love to do hybrid picking, so I use the pick on my bass, and I use 2 other fingers to get these 3-note chords. You could use your pinky if you wanted a 4-note chord, but we're just talking about triads today. So if I take that same thing, I could go C. Now you notice that shape is pretty easy. It's not a bar. I'm just playing 3 different fingers. Now does that sound, that C chord, which is a bar, or this one, is even worse. I've got 3 C's. I've got 1 E, and I've got 2 G's. So there's a doubling, a tripling, and then the most important note, the third, I've only got 1 of. So it's kind of, heavy in a lot of reasons. So, because of the tripling and doubling. So do I need that? I could just play that. It's very clean. I can hear every note of the chord that way. So if I sort of conjugate that through the scale, I get C major. So your major shape looks like that on this string set. Very easy, no bar. If I go to the next chord, it's minor. Well, the third is on top. So if I go here, that would be D major. Well, a minor chord has a minor third, so it's 1 fret lower. So now I have that shape. Now that's going to be all your minor shapes on that string. So there's the E minor chord. So we went C major, D minor, E minor, back to the major shape for F, major shape for G, back to the minor for A. Now I'm getting kind of high on an acoustic, so that's fret 12. I could just substitute the open string and get this. which, you know, I wouldn't need to play those fingerings. I could play like a C chord without the C in the bass. And then the B diminished chord is going to look like this, because it has a diminished fifth. If I compare that, if this was B minor, there's the power chord, which is the fifth, just flatten it, and I get that shape. I like to do it with this fingering because then it resolves to C, and all I do is squish it in, go here. But certainly this is a good fingering as well. So we have every chord represented there. The beautiful thing is that if this is C, and then I go to this shape for minor, minor, major, if I were to be in the key of F, now I've moved up a string. It's exactly the same. So major, excuse me, is that shape. So this would be F major, G minor, A minor, right? So it just keeps going up like that. Then we would get B flat, a major, C major, and so on. So the shapes here, C major, F major, are the same. So if I did a 3-chord tune in C, it'd be C, F, and G. So it's beautiful. It's not hard on the hand. F, G. Of course, you can arpeggiate them, do whatever you want with them to play them. I can even play them as solid chords. F, G, like that. So it's a really cool thing to do, because you can, first of all, the chord isn't overbearing with the root or the fifth. We have one of each. We have one root, 1/3, and 1/5. So if I look at that on the top strings, let's say I'll play in the key of G here. So the key of G has an F sharp in it. So here's G major chord. Again, look just like the F or the C. So there's G major. And then if I go through the chords there, the next chord would be A minor. The next chord would be B minor, C major, D major. I could just go up. But because it's getting high, I could go back to your regular sort of D shape, cowboy chord shape, but I don't need the root there because I'm playing it here. Right? And then I could go to the E minor, and then when I go to the F sharp, it's going to be F sharp diminished. And again, you notice it's that same shape that I played down here for the B minor, B diminished chord. So yeah, it's a great way to play chords. It's very clean. It's very balanced. And the other thing that's cool about it is that you don't have to bar. So it becomes easy on your hand. You know, again, if you're a young player, small hands, maybe you're getting on in age like myself. So, anytime I can play little triads, I play them all the time. I very rarely will play big bar chords because I'm usually playing with other people, and, the bass player's down in this area, maybe a piano player's playing something down there. It just becomes too dense, and you don't hear the beauty of all the chords. Okay, so if I play, I don't know, let's do a festive tune. Da, 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 da. Now that's interesting. So I did da, D was just this. Again, that's the same shape. If you imagine the root there, I just played it like a regular D chord. But then I played D7, and a seventh chord should have 4 notes. Should have the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. And a dominant seventh chord should have a flat 7. So if I go take this fifth, which I don't really need, that's an expendable note. The third's super important. And the root's actually not that important either, but if we're only playing a few notes, I'm going to include it. So it's the D and the F sharp. And instead of the A, if this is your fifth of the chord, you just have to go up 3 frets, and and that note will be the flat 7. So there's your C natural, there's D, the root. This would be the normal 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the flat 7. So I can play root, flat 7, and 3. Again, super simple, only 2 fingers and an open string. Okay, so I'll take that again. So, ba, dee, da, G, A minor, G, D7, G, da, da, C, da, da, D7, da, 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 dum, ba, da, 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 G, D7, G. Yeah, so it's very pretty. You can play them on this string set. So here's my G. G would look identical on this string set. Now it would look a little different on the bottom string. So root, 5, and third would be like that. Kind of like the minor shape on the other strings. So we have G major, G major, G major, and all the other chords which just follow suit up and down the strings. But with combinations with all those, like you saw, I moved quite a bit. 2 reasons, because I stayed on the same string set, but the other reason is I tried to give you all root position chords. So when I played G, I had a G on the bottom. When I played D, it was D on the bottom. So here's D7, always D on the bottom. Now, if I played D7, if I just rearranged the notes a bit, so I could play F sharp, C, and A. Like I don't really need to have that D in there. Now I've got that, yeah, without getting too confused. Just saying that you can play these things in different places. I'll show you on the G chord. So here's G, B, D. Well, let's say I put D on the bottom of these 3 strings. So D would be here, G would be on top, and the B would be on the 2nd string open. So that's very easy. Now if I raise that one up to say to be an A chord, I would need a bar, but it's a little bar. You know, I could stretch it like that if you've got big hands. So there's a G with a D on the bottom, low string. Here's G in its root position. And then the other choice I would have be to put a B on the bottom. So here's G, here's B, and here's the D. So I get another shape. So that's a really pretty voicing. That, and that. So I have 3 choices for every chord because they're a triad, which is 3 notes, and it's on 3 strings. So I have 3 possibilities as to put, you know, a different note on the bottom and then just find the other notes on the other 2 strings. And also the string set will stay the same. So these 3 strings, these 3 strings, those are the same 3 strings. Now here, I could do D open, and then the B here, and the G here, which is fine. I chose to play the open string. But if I did play this one, D on the bottom, and I moved it up, now it becomes a little trying. Like if I went up 2 frets, then I'd have to take everything up 2 frets. So that's a little bit of a stretch, eh? It's not very comfortable. So, you know, they're not all of them will work for you right away. Maybe you'll have to work into some of those. But certainly root positions are very, very easy to play. And much easier than a bar chord. And I think a little prettier again, you know? Bum, ba, dum, bum, da, 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 dum. I missed the flat 7 there. So there's the D7 and there's the G. Anyway, hope that helps, and have fun with triads. Triads are awesome. We're a harmonic instrument, so we need to play a lot of chords, and triads are a great way to get around the neck without being too cumbersome. Okay, Merry Christmas to everybody, and hope that helps, and I'll come at you with something else, maybe triad based again down the road. Cheers.